Hey Dr. Stewart, it's Caroline Strand here with my thoughts and reflections on the article we read on misbehavior. The first thing that stuck out to me in the article is that prevention is key, and although you can try to prevent as much as possible, your students, there will always be misbehavior in the classroom, whether it's big or small, whether it's daily or rarely occurs, but there will always be misbehavior. And when that comes up, there are a few steps that the article said to follow. And that first step is to maintain self-control. So that means staying cool, calm, and collected even when you want to lash out because a student said something. I know for me that's really hard for me not to react. Usually I have to remove myself from the situation, but that is the first most important thing. The second thing is that silence is powerful. So I know for myself, when someone silently just looks at me and doesn't say anything, I get really scared because I'm like, what are they thinking of? And that has the same effect on students. So if a student says something, blurts something out, says something out of line, is not behaving, and instead of immediately snapping at them, staring at them for like 5 to 10 seconds without saying anything, they'll think that you're coming up with some kind of big plan that will be their consequence and whatnot. So silence is very powerful, and your body language is also powerful. It's important to stay firm and don't get distracted from the lesson you're teaching. Okay, and then the third part is the modeling cognition. So while you're waiting, do a thinking pose, maybe something like this, and that will make the students think that you really are thinking of the consequence that will be best for them, and they will be very scared of, and usually they'll back down at that point and not fix their own behavior without you having to correct them. So another thing to keep in mind is avoiding power struggle. It's important for you to not overuse your power as a teacher. You need to use it effectively, preventing the misbehavior and using the silence and modeling cognition and stuff. But it's important that you don't overpower it. A lot of things challenges students will throw at you, or bringing up their old teachers, oh well, that teacher never made me do this, so I'm not doing it for you, or saying that everyone's a teacher, teaching is easy, your job's not hard. Things that would potentially hurt your feelings, and even though you are more as a teacher you are more powerful, the student can say things that are hurtful, and you need to react in an appropriate manner so that it doesn't become unprofessional, that you don't become unprofessional or add fuel to their fire that just encourages them to misbehave. And especially you don't want to do that in front of the whole classroom. I know that when babysitting or when in my labs and stuff, if a student's misbehaving, I'll pull them to the side when it's an appropriate time. I'll pull them to the side and talk to them privately. That's how my mom did it with us growing up, because if you react in front of the whole class, then 30 students know what irritates you, not just one. So a way to diffuse the situation is by using things that are diffusers, which are 1 to 2, or 1 to 5 words actually, phrases that derail the situation and hopefully get the student on task while you're just still giving instruction or teaching the lesson. So some diffusers are wow, I love your thought process, or I got it, or I understand, or oh, I see what you're thinking there, something like that. And that'll let the students know that you heard them, but that you're not reacting right now. And if it's something that you need to react to later, you can pull the student aside and do all that later. So that's what I learned in this article. Have a good day.